One of my biggest gaming disappointments of 2022 has definitely been Mario Strikers Battle League. Look, I was super excited for this game. I figured this was going to be the game that everyone was going to be playing all throughout the summer. It had that sort of vibe to it. It had that sort of look to it. Of course, the game came out. I did a full review on it, and make sure you check that out if you haven't yet. But the more I think about this game, the more stuff we get as far as updates are concerned, the more I realize this was a huge missed opportunity. Like, what the hell happened with Mario Strikers Battle League to make it a game that I was super hyped about? It was honestly one of my most anticipated games of 2022 to a game that I've actually deleted off my Nintendo Switch. I no longer have it on there. I freed up some room to download some other stuff. So what went wrong with Mario Strikers Battle League? What actually happened with this game? That's what I want to talk about today. I don't really have a plan. I just have a flow in my mind. And let's get one thing clear before we get into the nitty-gritty of this. I was excited for this game. Go back and watch when the game was first announced. It was arguably one of my favorite announcements from that Nintendo Direct. I've been a Mario Strikers fan for a very long time. Hell, we even made gear on the Spawncast for Mario Strikers, and this was going to be the game that we were all going to play together. This was the game that we were all really looking forward to. 50-50, baby. You always got a 50-50 chance. But the problems ended up coming out right alongside of the launch of the game. We got that sort of pseudo Nintendo sports title that we've seen when it comes to Mario games as of recently, where it's like, all right, it's a little bit light on the content here. It's a little bit light on the content here. Where are all the characters? Where are all the different levels you can play on? Where are the different game modes? So on and so forth. It's something that Nintendo has done religiously with Mario sports titles on the Nintendo Switch thus far. Games like Mario Tennis and Mario Golf. These games actually had new levels added in very quickly after the launch of the game. New characters added in very quickly after the launch of the game. Now, the mindset is that this will keep people wanting to continually play the game. If you're adding in a new character here or there, they'll return to it. But the problem is, unless you're really enjoying that game when it first comes out, do you really want to return to it? Is there something substantial enough to make you want to return to the game? I thought the game looked gorgeous visually. It's a great looking game. It's a great looking game. It's a Mario soccer game. On paper, it should be very easy to make this an awesome game. It should be very easy to make this a game that people are going to enjoy for months and months and months. But when you look at the game, there's obviously some core issues with it. There's obviously some problems that needed to be addressed. We just talked about the content of the game, and with this latest Mario Strikers Battle League update, we got a little bit more content. Daisy and Shy Guy were added in as brand new characters, and there was a desert level added in as well. But you know, that's all well and good. Obviously, the characters were a problem of the game. You have a very limited amount of characters at the start, 10, with no unlockable characters. You're pretty much just waiting for Nintendo to update this game. You only had 5 different levels to play on, all of which looked very, very similar to begin with. I mean, they all had like grass and stuff. They looked like soccer fields. It didn't really feel like that sort of over-the-top Mario-esque style. The desert obviously changes things up a little bit, but for the most part, you know, it's still the same core game. And if the core game itself was good, I think people would be able to look past the issues of the game as far as the lack of content was concerned. And initially, I was able to. I thought the core experience was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. And the addition of more content would potentially make this game a great game, even though people seem to give this game a pass when it came out on day one. But the more you play this game, the more you see the real problem with it, the real core issues with the game. It's not that there isn't enough players to choose from. It's not that there isn't enough levels to play on. It's the fact that the game is devoid of really any sort of content as far as what you actually play. Look at the single player side of things. You have like single player matches. Yeah, there's these little tournaments where you could do things like upgrade your gear and stuff like that. I don't understand the gear system though, because all it does is it takes one character and makes them more like another character that's already readily available. I don't see the incentive to keep grinding for all of these different gear pieces when you're just taking a speedy character and maybe making them stronger but removing their speed. It's kind of like, well, what's the point? Just pick a character that's more based on what you want to play as when you're playing the game. There's no story, there's no overarching thing, there's no unlockable characters that you get from playing the single player. The single player is literally just an exhibition against the computer. No matter what game mode you do, it's an exhibition against the computer. But the bigger problem, obviously, is the online stuff. And this is what drove me to remove this game off my Nintendo Switch. I made a tweet about it saying, you know what, I'm good with this game. And I saw people saying, oh, you're just not good at the game. That's why you don't like it. You're not good at the game. Excuse me? Excuse me? I'm not good at the game. First off, you've never played against me. Second off, I played most of my games online with SpawnWave. Here's the problem. It's a 4-on-4 soccer game, really a 5-on-5 when you account for the goalies, but I'm not expecting someone to control the goalie. It's a 4-on-4 soccer game where half of the characters on your team are idiots. They are idiots. They are brain dead AI that doesn't do anything you would expect them to do. Someone shooting a shot in front of them and the AI's in front of them, don't worry, the AI is just going to stand there and let the ball go straight through. The goalie is completely inconsistent as far as what shots are going to be stopped and what aren't. You could sit there and do a whole bunch of crosses and do a whole bunch of other things to make it for a really good shot, and the goalie will block it. Or you could just walk up and, stand kind of at half field and shoot a really shitty shot, and somehow it'll go in. Somehow it'll go in more times than not, sort of negating the whole, point of soccer. But I keep going back to the fact that half of your team online are idiots. Idiots, idiots, idiots. If you've played online, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This AI is abysmal at best. I can't count the amount of times they have done something so questionable, just like stopping in the middle of the field. And yeah, you could change over to them. I understand that. I understand how the gameplay mechanics work. But by the time you change over to them, what you're trying to stop from happening has already happened. Or it's about to happen, to where when you switch over to them, you watch it happen from that standpoint. There's nothing you can really do to sort of stop it. And it's just crazy to me that there's one thing that could simply fix this game. There's one thing that would definitely fix the core issues. Allow for 4-on-4 games online. There's no rhyme or reason for there not to be 4-on-4. The year is 2022. If you can't figure out a 4-on-4 online infrastructure for a video game, you probably shouldn't be making video games. Okay, there are more impressive things. You could play like 4-on-4 games on the Nintendo DS. First person shooters. Go look up Call of Duty. You could play 4-on-4 in those games, but you can't do it on the Nintendo Switch with a first party title with your flagship character of Mario. Even if they just sort of fix the AI and just tweak the AI to make them a little bit more responsive, because there are different AI levels in the game. After you do the first cup in the game, if you decide to do that, which, like I said, I don't understand the point of the gear really, you get a different cup and the AI is substantially better than you have before. But it's like they turn the AI down all the way for your default characters when playing online. If you increase the AI, you would have more people wanting to play the game online because it would be a little bit more fair. Or you could simply just add a 4-on-4 mode, which is what it should have been in the first place. It's called Battle League. The emphasis is on the multiplayer aspect of the game. The emphasis are on these leagues that you play in online against other teams and other, leagues in order to be the best, in order to win your league, in order to be the best team. And you just completely negate this, and you worry more about adding in Daisy and Shy Guy and the desert level. This game was half-assed when it came out. It's not about your skill in the game, it's about the luck of the draw. And I get that. There is a bit of luck in any video game that you play, especially sports games and stuff like that. But when you can literally pinpoint the problem, you could see it, anyone can see it clear as day, that having a 4-on-4 system would negate all of these issues, and you choose not to do it. You choose to do a 2-on-2 regimen for a game that's based around online stuff. Something's got to give. The problem is I don't ever think there's incentive to add a 4-on-4 thing because the game is selling. Everyone's buying it. Websites gave it a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10 for this? Like, are we looking past the graphics of the game and, the hype around being excited that Mario Strikers is back and actually looking at the core game and realizing there's some fundamental problems with this? Maybe maybe what went wrong with Mario Strikers Battle League is, you know, we accepted it. We accepted what they sent us. We accepted what they shipped out on day one. And I don't know, man. It's frustrating. It's frustrating because I want to love this game. I want to love it, but you know, just playing online with Spawnwave and just seeing the things that happen online, seeing the inconsistencies, the fact that, of course, we have to talk on Discord, the fact that half of our team are complete freaking morons who don't do anything, and you feel like almost like you're handicapped against it. It's just like, what's the point? Where's the fun? You know, is this fun, trying to battle against the game when they could simply have fixed it on day one? This shouldn't have even been a problem, but instead it's a major issue. There's no reason to check out the single player stuff because it's just exhibition matches. There's no incentive. There's no unlockables beyond the gear, which just changes your characters to another character gameplay style. You can't play with 3 other friends online. You can only play with 1 other friend, or you could do 2-on-2 battles, but for some reason, you know, 4-on-4, that's a little bit too much. Are we just accepting mediocrity? Should we accept mediocrity? Am I being too hard on this game? Do you think that this game is great? Because I know there will be some people in the comments who act like Nintendo pays their rent defending them and defending the decisions about this game and defending this game to the death, but I just can't see it. I just can't see it. And the more time you spend with the game, the more flaws you see. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this game. Is this just, am I a complete idiot? Am I a complete moron and this is a great game? Or, you know, are there problems with it, but people are afraid to say it because these Nintendo, you know, super fans on Twitter will try to eviscerate you and crucify you, and you know, I'm immune to that. Okay, you know, it is what it is. If something sucks, I'm gonna call it out. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell notification as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.